name is Kristopher Perovic. Welcome to the round 5 feature match between Yuki Zaninovich and Brandon Wigley. Uh, Today, Yuki's using a water deck and Brandon's using a wind-up deck. They are the only undefeated left in the tournament. Yuki's trying to warn me that he might have a crappy internet connection. Uh, as all the participants know, uh, it's their responsibility to secure a reliable internet connection uh, uh, prior to playing. There's no chances taken. If you disconnect, it is automatically a game loss. Uh, However, if both players see fit to redo a match, then they will. It's also going to be decided on a case by case basis. Just in the event that something looks um, like it could just be accidental, that might be forgiven in any particular situation. Right now, though, uh, wouldn't be a good time for Yugi to disconnect because Brandon opened up with a great hand, Factory, Magician Shark. It's the stuff that people dream of. He is just short of a Typhoon. Again, as usual, I'm not going to narrate the match. You can see that for yourselves. If I just pick up on a read or feel there's something that's worth sharing, um, I'll share it. Something tells me Brandon's just going to Abyss Dweller here and play the advantage game with the rabbit. I really like this play by Brandon. Um, he's instead of walling out and ODing, he's going with the safe play, the safe, conservative but aggressive play. That Abyss Dweller is going to hit that face down recruiter and cause problems. And that rat in factory are going to search out a shark next turn, and he's already got. I mean that rabbit is in the factory, and he's also got the rat in hand, so to bring back the magician. So he's going to magician shark all the same, without unnecessarily exposing himself to a torrential. Um, and I just think that's just good Yu-Gi-Ohs. I mean, clearly, uh, I think Brandon made that play because he wanted to abuse Factory. He could have done a couple different things. Zenmaity, Pop Operative, Shockmaster. He could have gone Tyrus next to that Abyss Dollar, but he was trying to abuse the wind-up factory that he opened with. But fortunately for Yuki, um, he had the Typhoon to chain to the rabbit effect. I just noticed that one of the unique, well, not unique, but one of the less conventional cards in Brandon's deck are the three upstart goblins, and I wasn't really paying attention at the beginning of the match, but one of the things that needs to be said against using upstart goblins in wind up deck is that windups can often hit for 8,000 at a time, and when you run upstarts, you're you're messing with your OTK potential at the expense, or at the gain of, rather, um, uh, some I suppose, minute uh, consistency gains, which I mean they're not like negligible. I, I I do the math every time I look at this or something like that. I think it shortens deck just by, if it's not like 1%, it's less than 3%, something like that. Like, but I mean, I mean that's significant. That sort of stuff matters. Um, that said, losing out on an opportunity to do 8,000 just because you needed to use the upstart to go into another card, it's never a good feeling. Uh, in deciding to talk, it's not something I'm not really. I'm not looking at the back and forth plays. The turns are going back and forth pretty fast. Um, but it seems that Yuki is not in a good situation. It seems that way anyway. Let's check out who's watching the game. A lot of watchers. And does it again. And there's hope for this keep is now online. I love uh I love Tyler's commentary. If I seem a little monotone or a bit too relaxed, I want to apologize now, I suppose. Um, I didn't sleep last night, and so when it got around 5, 6, 7, or 5, 6 ish in the afternoon, all I could think about was how tired I was, but how much I knew I wanted to be awake for this match. And I got a quick hour nap before I got a phone call about them being ready to play, and that's my own fault. They gave me plenty of notice. Um, one of the things that was a very clutch torrential. Yuki's gonna need to make something happen now. Like, I'm not really sure what. I'm not sure what outs he has available to him. It could start with a heavy storm or Gen X Undyne. That's a good card. I don't think it's gonna be enough though. Oh, those are the worst. Hmm. I wish I could see the graveyard to see how many waters are in the graveyard. I can tell you whether I suspect that he was setting up for a Moon Glacier play or something. That's pretty funny. Obviously, that was a huge turn for Yuki, but I mean, Brandon's really got to have nothing right now for that to be the turn that changes the game. it's worth noting that hmm, okay, so just drew the line around. It's also like worth noting that Brandon's main decking card cardies, um, which would not be that effective right now. He played. I don't know if I'd say it's like a turbo sort of build, but he plays with the intent to get through his deck as fast as he can without running stuff in the middle. And that doesn't necessarily mean that there aren't trade offs. But you know, card car helps you rebuild if you're coming back from something. Mm, wow. I just want. I guess I'll point out that I so far I think I would have been playing this exactly like Brandon's been playing it. I've shared my thoughts uh, about how I expected this tournament to turn out, and with a few people now, and I suppose it's worth. I suppose it's worth. It's worth pointing out that I think my impression is that Brandon is going to get really close, if not finish this tournament in first place. Uh, I've had the luxury of watching a bunch of players play. Hold on. Just want to be clear. I think Yuki thought for a second that the rabbit already used its effect and maybe confused. But yeah, it's generally customary to put counters to indicate that you've used an effect. But whatever. Anyway, so like I was saying, um, Brandon is. I've had the luxury of watching a bunch of people play in this tournament, uh, and Brandon is someone who has. Um, there were a few times where he goes to try to take a move back or something like that, but generally speaking, if you give him, or if he even takes his time, but if you give him 5 seconds or 10 seconds, like it seems to me like he makes the right play. Just want to take a look at the extra deck. He was at 32 before, right? Yes, he was. Or 42, sorry. I didn't mean to say 32. Um, was there any way to get shock on monsters right there? Whatever. I'm pretty sure he has a typhoon anyway. Oh, right. Brandon played that excellently. no qualms. I mean, you knew it was an abyss sphere because Magala just searched it out, and he didn't typhoon it, so the recruiter didn't come out, and he didn't need the shock. No, that was great. A testament to why my opinion is I think Brandon is the front runner for this tournament presently at present. Oh, I guess I should mention these are the only two undefeateds left. This is a water and wind up, um, and you know, I guess you could say they were fated to meet. Um, Windups were the most largely represented deck in this tournament. There were 13 out of the 32 participants running windups. The second most popular deck, just to um, highlight how significant that was, the second most popular deck was water, and there were only uh, four players in contention. I mean, four players using that deck. Was gonna message you several months ago, but I got calls. They said they needed help recording. Are you good? Oh, this is Nathan Sewall. It took me a second to realize that. Yes. Thanks. I appreciate that, Nathan. Thank you. One of the things that I think is making this tournament so successful right now is that I'm not doing it on my own. I know it seems like I'm doing it on my own. Um, all the posts are coming from my name, and I'm doing all the, you know, the I guess the like the data part, number crunching. I'm handling all the tournament stuff, and I'm covering the feature matches, and I'm making the YouTube channel. I'm doing a lot, but I would not be able to do it without the help of a very select few people, and I just want to thank those people without getting into too many specifics and calling out names and stuff like that. Um, I just want to say that I'm thankful to the people who who wake me up if I'm sleeping. That stuff matters. Very important. Not thankful to, by the way, uh, Alistair Albans. However, this match turns out, there will be pros and there will be cons, or there will be props and there will be slops. Alistair definitely gets a slop today. Um, you guys didn't know it, but he was slated to do some dual dual feature match commentary with me. Uh, that was gonna be a surprise for you guys, um, but he kind of forgot about it because I kind of overslept, and these guys were waiting for like a half hour for me, and he kind of started going to the movies. Um, so major slops to Alistair for not prioritizing Yu-Gi-Oh over his normal social life. Anyway, um, generally here I would look at their side decks and um, try to speculate as to what they would side deck in. Uh, However, I don't want to get their deck list caught on camera right now, and I don't have another computer or mobile device readily available to go and check out their lists. Suffice it to say, um, you can expect. I think you can expect all the typical things that you would normally expect these decks to side deck right now. I don't recall Yuki having anything special or Brandon having anything special for windups or waters respectively. Also, Good job, Yuki. That was a very good opener. One of the best openers you can have in the deck. Now just set an Abyss Sphere and you're solid. With a Marksman in hand. Whoa. I don't like that play at all. I mean, I understand what he's going. He's To be clear, he was going for Abyss Dweller so that he could detach and search for Dragoons again. Um, I think he just got greedy right there. It's interesting that he kept in the Maxis uh, and sided in the Dimensional Fissures. Oh, that was so clutch. Oh, yeah, Brandon got that right. Well, that does suck. Wow. Brandon trying to be cute there. Tried typhooning the face down after activating Dimensional Fissure so that in the event of it being an Abyss Sphere, that recruiter would, or whatever the case would get removed. And there would be, it could go 1-for-1, which is not a bad thing to have happen to an Abyss Sphere. And then Brandon also dropped Thunder King after that, though. You know, he's not totally lost. Thunder King is a good card right now, or a decent card. That forces Yuki to use the Diva uh, as uh, Undyne's effectively useless. He has the Fiendish Chain for the Diva. I'm sure he's gonna sink away now to force Brandon to negate the summon. Things are not looking good for Brandon right now. He needs, or it would be very nice if he had a factory in hand and he just top decks a wind up rabbit. No, no dice, no cardy, no nothing. He'll certainly mill a Dragoons right now. Again, not looking good for Brandon. Oh, I searched the Diva. That was interesting. He probably already has a Magala. Oh, and a Moulin Glacier. That is just about game. There's almost. I think there. I don't think there. Uh, there's really a realistic combination of cards right now that Brandon could possibly draw or draw back to back. Even if Yugi doesn't win on the next turn, which I somehow doubt. Um, I don't think there's anything that Brandon can draw to win this game. He needs like a dark hole and a card party just to have a chance. And that's on the strength that Moulin Glacier will force Yuki to not attack on the next turn. 2 card cardies back to back to Magician Jar. I don't see it happening. I think it's academic at this point. Interesting that Brandon kept in the Fiendish Chains against water. I'm not sure if I like that. I'm not sure that he had any better options, so I don't want to seem too critical, but I don't think Phoenix Chain is that great against water. Going for gung rear, going to pop the face down, and attack for game. I think uh, Brandon makes a point. Right now, the gung rear play leaves him vulnerable to an effect veiler unnecessarily. Brandon said you could have exceeded and made marksman and then detach. Yuki doesn't seem to think it makes a difference. It does make a difference. Well, all right. I mean, never mind. I take that back. It doesn't. It didn't really make a difference, even if he veilered.
And besides, I'm pretty sure he would have veilered the diva if he had it.
Brandon is making the point that if he had Valor, it would have. But at the same time, unless the face down is like a morphing jar, like it's not gonna matter so much. Uh, Yuki said, "But I diva." I'm not sure what he's referencing. It doesn't matter. Oh, uh, no, never mind. So we saw, uh, they didn't take long the side deck. We saw that Brandon sided dimensional fissures. I don't think we saw anything from Yuki. No needle sealings or anything. Oh. Brandon opened up Thunder King again. You know, it seems to me this is really sort of a side thing, but I'll mention anyway. So, of the four most popular decks, Waters, Windups, uh, Agents, and Dino Rabbit, you can toss Chaos Dragons up in there if you want to. Uh, but it seems to me like against every one of these decks, Thunder King is bananas. Like I it seems just like such a good card. But then you're playing, and it's stuff like this, right? Like it just happens. Um, I've always wanted to use three Thunder King like every other day. Like I'm building a deck. I'm like, all right, well let me put in three Thunder King, and then I go down to two, and then I go down to one, and then I go down to none. It's just because things like that happen, and it's really unfortunate because it seems like it would be so great. It seems like it would cause so many problems, and it often does. Like I mean, the thing is, I don't know about you guys, but I've only ever uh, summoned a Thunder King and hit a face down monster and learned it was a Sangan once, and that was only like a week ago. Uh, but you see that happen all the time, so it gives off this impression that it's so great, but I don't know. It gets answered a lot, and it's annoying. That's interesting. That makes me think face down's a magician. Ooh, and it seems like, or I mean, of course now I think it's a Sangan, but I would think that that's kind of weird. I guess he was just afraid of getting UTK'd. Right. This game is almost entirely Yuki's right now. Yeah, it was interesting. Did you forget a Dragoon search? Game's over. Dark Hole's gone. He's got two cards. I forget who won game one. I thought Brandon did, but it's 48, not 44. It's some soft cheating right there, intentional or not. Just saying, because you keep Gleason all three games for no reason. Quality. It seems like no match has been free of uh, shit talking afterwards. Brandon's no stranger to that too. Thinks that the dimensional fissure is just cause for siding out Moon Glacia. Uh, so that means now, after 5 rounds, the only undefeated left in this tournament is this water deck, which is kind of shocking, um, given that windups outnumbered it, I think 3-1. Um, I still have high hopes for Brandon Wigley. Um, if you don't know who he is, I think he's a protege, no, a protege of, or at least friend to Patrick Hoban. Uh, my understanding is between Patrick Hoban and Brandon Wigley, they worked on this wind-up deck together, and it had brought him success up until this point. I'm sure he'll win his next round, whoever he's paired against, and he'll do just fine in this tournament. All right, then. Take care and be well.